Advanced Grammar in Use. Martin Hewings.
Unit 18. Must and have to. Have got to. A. We use must and must not in formal rules and regulations and in warnings.
Bookings must be made at least 7 days before departure.
The government must not be allowed to appoint judges.
In spoken English, we often use must and mustn't to propose a future arrangement, such as a meeting or social event, without making detailed plans.
We must get together more often.
We mustn't leave it so long next time.
We can also use I must to remind ourselves to do something.
I must charge my phone. I meant to do it yesterday, but I forgot.
B. To draw a conclusion about something that happened in the past. We use must plus have plus past participle.
That's not Clara's car. She must have borrowed it from her parents.
Something happening at or around the time of speaking. We use must be plus verb ing.
I can't hear a noise. You must be imagining things.
Something that is likely to happen in the future. We use must be going to or must be plus verb ing.
What are all those workmen doing?
I think they must be going to dig up the road.
I was wrong about the meeting being today. It must be happening next Friday.
A present situation. We use must be or have to be. Have got to be. In informal speech.
Their goalkeeper has got to be at least 2 meters tall. Or must be. Their goalkeeper must be at least 2 meters tall.
We can use must have to say that we conclude something based on what we know about a present situation, and must have had to conclude something about a past situation.
I can't access the database. You must have to put in a password. Equals a password is necessary.
Matt wasn't at home when I went round. He must have had to go out unexpectedly.
Note that we can't say must have got to, but we can say must have had to. C. In questions that hope for or expect a negative answer, we prefer have got to, although in formal contexts, must is sometimes used.
Do we have to answer all the questions? Or, have we got to? Formally, must we? Have we got to answer all the questions? Must we got to answer all the questions?
We use have to in questions that imply a criticism. Must can also be used, although some people think this is rather old-fashioned. We usually stress have and must in sentences like this.
Do you have to play your trumpet here? It's deafening. Formally, must you play? Must you play your trumpet here? It's deafening.
D. Sometimes we can use either have to or have got to. However, we use have to with frequency adverbs.
I often have to work at the weekend to get everything done.
Also, always, never, normally, rarely, sometimes, etc. With the past simple, we use had to, especially in questions and negative sentences.
When did you have to give it back?
We didn't have to wait too long for an answer.
If have is contracted, for example, I've, he's, it'd, then we must include got.
I need a new pair of shoes, and they've got to be blue.
We don't choose have got to with other modal verbs.
Motorists will have to wait until next year to use the bridge.
Note also that have got to is often preferred in informal speech. Exercises 18.1. Complete the sentences with one of these forms. Must have plus past participle. Must plus bare infinitive. Must be plus verb ing. Or must have to, must had to. Use the verbs given.
When I left my laptop on the train, I thought I'd never see it again. But someone must have found it and handed it into the lost property office.
Louisa owns a big car and a yacht. She must be incredibly rich. Everyone's going into the hall.
The meeting must be starting soon. Let's go.
Must be going to start and must start are also possible. The meeting must be going to start soon. The meeting must start soon.
Without things like washing machines and dishwashers, our grandparents must have had to work much harder in the kitchen than we do today.
I didn't think Rob was coming to the meeting. He must have changed his mind.
I wonder how you get past security.
I suppose you must have to show some form of ID.
I thought Paul would be home.
He must be taking Lotta to work. He said he would.
Must have taken is also possible. He must have taken Lotta to work.
Look at all those birds. There must be at least 1,000 of them.
(18.2). Write new sentences with a similar meaning. Use have got to, has got to, where possible or preferable. If not, use have to, has to. It is necessary to do all of this photocopying before lunchtime.
All of this photocopying has got to be done before lunchtime. All of this photocopying has to be done before lunchtime.
It is really necessary to ask Hannah to tidy her room.
Hannah rarely has to be asked to tidy her room.
Is it necessary for us to hand in the homework tomorrow?
Have we got to hand in the homework tomorrow?
Do we have to? Is also possible. Do we have to hand in the homework tomorrow? It wasn't necessary for me to go to the hospital after all.
I didn't have to go to the hospital after all.
Was it necessary for Ben to go alone?
Did Ben have to go alone?
It is sometimes necessary for Adam to start work at 6:30.
Adam sometimes has to start work at 6:30.
Adam has sometimes got to start work at 6:30, is also possible. It is necessary to extend the college to accommodate the new students.
The college has to be extended to accommodate the growing number of students.
Has got to be extended, is also possible, but less likely in a formal context. It may be necessary to cancel our holiday, because my mother is ill.
We may have to cancel our holiday because my mother is ill.
We might have to cancel our holiday because my mother is ill. (18.3). If necessary, correct the italicized parts of this email message.
Hello Maria, sorry I haven't been in touch for a while. You must have been wondering what's been happening. Well, I must admit I've had a pretty awful week. When I got home from work last Monday, the front door was wide open. The door's very stiff, and I always have to pull it very hard to shut it. My neighbor's always saying, "Do you have to bang the door so hard?" When I went in I found that the house had been burgled. They must have climbed over the fence in the back garden. None of the windows and doors were damaged, so someone very small must have had to squeeze through the tiny window in the kitchen. So someone very small must have squeezed through the tiny window in the kitchen. I suppose I must have left it open, but I didn't expect anyone to be able to get in. Then they must have come through the house and opened the front door for the others. Of course, the first thing I did was to call the police. And I didn't have to wait very long for them to get here. Fortunately, the only thing that was taken was my TV. I think the burglars must have been disturbed, perhaps when the postman came. So now I've got to get a new lock for the front door and replace the TV. And I must put some locks on the windows. I suppose I may have to get a burglar alarm too. I must say I've never really wanted one, but needs must. Anyway, I must go. Hope the family is well. Jessica must be getting ready to go back to university. And you must be busy with the new school year just about to start. When you have time, we must get together for a weekend. All the best for now. Amy.
Can you find 3 other common expressions with must?
The 3 common expressions with must are: I must say, I must admit. Both used to emphasize the following point. And needs must, meaning if something is necessary I will do it, even though I may not want to.
Additional exercise 5, page 242.
อย่าลืมกดกระดิ่งและกดติดตามเพื่อเพิ่มโอกาสในการเรียนรู้